Universal molders. This is a small review of the injection unit and its stages. The stages include injection, transfer, holding, gate seal, cooling, and recovery with its decompression. In the injection stage, the screw does not rotate and behaves like a piston. It fills about 95% of the total volume, including the runner. It must fill as quickly as possible with a homogeneous melt and with its best properties. Velocity is the machine-controlled parameter. Injection time and flow are the universal parameters. The check ring is in the closed position, preventing the melt from returning to the screw. Next is transfer. At the transfer position, the injection stage ends or the velocity control zone ends. Universal molders prefer to transfer by position, or if the control of the machine is universal, then by volume. Hold. During holding, the screw continues to behave like a piston. Here, the remainder of the cavities is packed. The mass dimensions are guaranteed. Hydraulic holding pressure is the machine control parameter. Plastic hold pressure is the universal control parameter. Screw speed is slow and should not be controlled because it is a result of controlling the pressure. Holding time. Holding time finishes the holding stage and is the time it takes to solidify the melt in the gates. This is the same in molds with hot runners. If the mold includes gate valves, then these are activated when the holding time expires. The cushion is the last position of the screw. It is never equal to 0 and is less than the transfer position. The cushion is a result and must be consistent, so it is monitored within a predetermined window. Now it's time for cooling. Once the holding time expires, the cooling stage begins. During cooling, we get the thermal dimensions, those dimensions and properties that are a function of shrinkage. The control parameters are cooling time and mold temperature. Once cooling ends, the mold opens and the molded parts are ejected. Recovery. Within the cooling stage, recovery happens. In normal machines, the recovery must end before the cooling does, or permission to open the mold will be denied. The machine control parameters are recovery position, rotational speed, back pressure, decompression position, decompression speed, and heater zone temperatures. During recovery, the screw rotates, loading a homogeneous melt in front of the check ring. That melt in front of the check ring is what pushes the screw back. The back pressure is a force, pressure, that opposes the screw being pushed freely by the melt. When back pressure is increased, additive mixing might be improved. The material is compacted so that melting becomes denser and more mass is compacted into the same volume. Friction increases. Heat increases in the form of friction. Heat bands will turn on less. Finally, we come to decompression. It is a controlled displacement, about 5% of the recovery, which reduces the melt pressure. Before the mold opens, the melt is decompressed to prevent any melt from drooling inside the mold. If the mold is equipped with gate valves, the decompression is minimal or none.
Amigos, I hope you enjoyed these translations done by Susan of the injection unit positions and stages. If you have any questions, you know where to find me.